Well, what are we fixing today? Recognize this? Where is it? Oh, everything's backwards. Recognize this? It is... yeah, there it is. It is the Saw of Death. The original Saw of Death, the mini Saw of Death, not the giant Saw of Death, the little one that we had at the cottage forever. I told you I ripped it out, I'm retiring it and get rid of it. Well, I decided it was just useful for maybe something else. I have forever retired it as a Saw of Death. It is now going to take up a couple other functions, but this time at home in the shop where the metal tools are. So let's get started with that. What do you think? Think I can make it safe-ish? Nah, I don't want to do that. I just want to make it work. All right, here she is, the original Saw of Death. I got all the pieces here. I'm going to be reassembling it as ish, but we're changing the function. It used to have a blade here, right? Well, bought some stuff, and we'll see if we can make it work here. This is a aluminum washer base plate polishing machine. I don't know what you call it, but it was about like a $15 piece of aluminum. It has a little bit of a taper on it, and I gotta see if I can get it to fit in here, because this is going to be a sander. So we'll need a little drill in there. And here we've got the sandpaper. And these sandpapers are sticky back, but they don't have a hole. So I have some punches here to be able to punch holes in these so I can use them. That's how it all kind of works. So, first thing is I want to get this mounted on here. Now this fits really snug. I'm going to have to drill this out to that size. And the best place for me to do that would be the drill press. So, let's head to the drill press. Alright, here's the drill press. I'll go with speed. Speed. Yeah, it's kind of medium speed. Speed should be okay. The drill I have that is close to the right size is this Morse taper bit. It's a little bit big, but should work. Not the sharpest tool in the shed, but Morse taper, that's what that is. You see it a lot in lathes and things, or drill presses. Let's take this chuck off, which is the Jacob's chuck. Let's get this. Oh. Yeah, I loosened it. But in order to get this off, what you do is you find the hole. You see it there now. You turn this until you find the hole in there. And then you can get this in there. Force that down. And you take the tool back out. And then you got the Morse taper Jacob's chuck. So we're taking that out. We're putting in this drill. All you gotta do to put it in there is just like so. Alright, sticking this back in my pocket. Morse taper up there. Now we should be able to drill this hole. Here goes. I reckon I can find another one. Okay. I think that's going to work just fine. What do you think? Alright. Back here, I don't think one side's any different than the other. Look at that. Look at that. Maybe let's put a piece of sandpaper on there. All the stuff on Amazon. Start out with a tried and true method. Alright, so that's the middle, and I'm just going to eyeball it after that. Need a little piece of sandpaper or something? Alright. How is this going to work? Stick it down right there. Let it stick up a little bit. See how it goes. I might have to always take off this nut. Hope not. I should be able to find ways to improve that. Maybe I can find something that's a little bit bigger punch. Don't know. Don't know. Maybe I just take the nut off every time and punch for the center. That might work. But this is the first time, so. Alright, done with the wood. Done with the garbage. Now I have a sanding wheel. And I have to put this all back together, huh? So, back together we go. So now that this is no longer this miniature saw of death here, what do you guys think we should call this? The sander of mediocrity? I don't know. So let's put the rest of this back together. In order to do that, I need the pin. But you know what? Let's put the motor on first. Belt on. Makes it easier. The belt is stayed tensioned by the weight of the motor. I'm going to hook this under the pulley. Lift up the motor. Pop that on. Like so. And that's probably a 1500 RPM motor, and this is about 3 to 2, so this is probably about an 1800 RPM sanding disc now. Alright. Now, the roof goes in here, uses this pin. Oh, we're going to grease it. Let's grease it. See grease coming out both sides. Good enough. And then this. And this. Let's go this way. It's a little bit easier. This is homemade stuff here. This is pieces of pipe that were welded onto that. Gonna hit. Where's this gonna hit? Okay. Well, we take that back out. Rigid tools, I like them. You want to sponsor me? You know where I am. All right. Let's see if that's going to work. It will at some level self-clearance, but you know what? That looks like it's going to work. All right. Put the bar back in. Yeah, it's just touching. We'll let it self-clearance. Yes. Awesome. Nice and tight. Nice and snug fit there then. Self-clearancing. That's awesome. Okay. Make sure our switch is off. Well, the switch don't work. Somewhere between the time I... Alright. Switch is always on. Well, I don't think you want to see me fix a switch. But the switch down there doesn't turn on and off. But this works. Let's try to grind something. I do have these, and I have this. So I get, see, I can't really use this. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to cut a smaller hole, so its center is better. We'll take the disc off every time, and I'll put sandpaper on both sides. And then I can go from here if I want, or I can go from the other side if I want. But today we're going to go from this side. So let's plug her in and see if she'll sand something. And now it's off. Not work. Well, the switch was just sleepy. Now the switch is working. Switch is working. Gives me all the confidence in the world in that switch, eh? I still have this fence I can use or whatever, but that's probably pretty iffy when you're doing metal. Okay, let's get a little closer look up here. This is the sanding disc. I got it really close here, and it'll self-clear if it needs more. I'm going to also put a sanding disc on this side next time, so that I'll be sanding on both times, then I only have to change it half as often. Alright, this flips up. This is the pipes. You tell the pipes because it got threading. That somebody welded on here, and the hinge pin to hinge this up. There's a locking device here, which is just you can turn this thing, and this then sticks underneath here, and it just kind of holds it, but it doesn't really hold it. It just kind of keeps it from flipping. There is an adjustment down there for adjusting the blade, but I think it's all the way up. And that's, if it's not, I'm going to make sure it is, so I got full access to the sanding area. I mean, after sanding, that's as much sanding damage as there is to the pad, and I'm going to get like a rubber disc or something, and I can use it to clean off, right? The motor down there, get a better look at that. This is hinged, and that's so that the belt tensions, the hinge pins are over here. The power box I added. So, what do you think? Think it'll work okay for its new purpose, or is it still like dangerous? I think it's a lot less dangerous. I have saw teeth sticking out here to grab you and kill you. So, what do you think? Used to be the saw of death. Now I'm thinking, I don't know. What do you think for a name? I'm thinking Sander of Obscurity? I don't know. And I could say, so? I don't know. You tell me. Give me some names. I would love a good name for this. And POS is not a good name. Unless you could make the letters POS fit into it being a Sander. I'd consider that. But I think it's going to work. And I did hint that it's going to be something else as well, but I'm not. That's for another day. That's for another day. Trying to get it in the frame here, so the angle's a little weird, but that's my video for today. My formal saw of death and future help me with a name. Right here, right here, right here. Boy, it's hard to point behind yourself. Anyway, thanks for watching. If it spawns us some ideas, or you got some ideas for me, let me know. I'd like to know what you think. I think I came up with a good use for this. And what do you think the future use is? Any guesses? There's some hints. Maybe somebody picked up on them? Don't know. Anyway, thanks for watching. Give me a thumbs up if you appreciate my work and like my dirty knuckles. There's a bunch of YouTube-y stuff down there to click on. Give me some watch hours. Watch some of my stuff. It's awesome. And yes, it is 95 degrees in the garage. And I do have sweat dripping off my chin. So sorry about that. But until next time, if given a saw of death, why don't you just cut its nuts off, get rid of the sharp parts, and make it into a sander of something. Bye!